Right. Hi, everyone. I am working on making sure that we are all connected. All right, we're going to wait just a few more minutes for everybody to join and get their browser settled. For those of you who are here with us already, thank you so much for joining. My name is Dr. Meghan Blackledge. I am the Senior Co-Director of the Natural Sciences Fellows at High Point University. And I'm delighted that you are joining us to hear about this webinar today. I also want to share, for those of you who will be at Presidential Scholars Weekend coming up, this year we are doing some special tours with our student science ambassadors. These are natural sciences students who are going to share with you their experiences and give you little tours of the building. So this is not going to be on your official schedule from the university, but these are going to be opportunities that you have available to you. So on Friday, anytime between 3:30 and 5:30, you don't have to schedule anything. If you come to Wannick Natural Sciences, which is um, this lovely building right here to the left of your screen. So if you come to Wannick Natural Sciences on Friday, anytime between 3:30 and 5:30, you can get a short tour of the building and a perspective from these students on their on what they love about High Point and what they love about the sciences. And then we'll also be doing those tours on Saturday during the Presidential Scholars interviews from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Also on Saturday, if you look at the picture on the right side, there is this little lounge area, which is actually on the third floor because you enter here on the second floor. But up here on the third floor, we're going to have students and some of our natural sciences fellows directors stationed there to answer your questions that you may have about natural sciences fellows. Um, and you can hear more about the program from the students themselves, get a chance to meet some of those guys, and hear what they love most about the sciences fellows if you still want more information before applying. So those are some great opportunities available in these coming weekends. If you're not able to join us for Presidential Scholars Weekend, we certainly understand. Please feel free to reach out to me. I'll make sure everybody has my contact information at the end of the webinar. And I'd love to hear from you and reach out and be able to chat with you more about the program, about the sciences at HPU, and answer any questions you have. And if I can't answer them, I'll be sure to direct you to somebody that can. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Um, so uh, just to tell you a little bit about the Natural Sciences Fellows. The Natural Sciences Fellows got started in 2018. So this is, we currently have our first cohort is now are now seniors, and so they will be graduating this year. So we've had 4 years to build this program and sort of let it mature. And it's really been designed as a program for uh, our natural sciences fellow students to give them an opportunity to enhance what they already get through the natural sciences at High Point University. So the idea behind the program is to really enhance professional development, prepare you for your career or the continuing education that you have, and also really give you a sort of built-in community for support, to help boost you when you're not feeling great, to challenge you to be better and do more, and to be the best that you can be and be as extraordinary of a science student and a person as you can be. So I'll just give you a little bit of an overview about the program. And then feel free to use the chat for questions. And then at the end, I'm also going to have an opportunity for anyone who wants to chime in for questions and answers. But I have the chat box up, so if you have any questions as of right now, please feel free to ask. All right, so I told you a little bit about the mission of our program. Um, but here's just a little bit of our program overview. We've split the program up into 4 years that are designed to really give you a holistic view of all the different things that you can do with your science major and your interest in science, um, and also um, enhance the education that you're already getting. So in the first year, we focus on developing connections and community. So working on getting you integrated within your natural sciences fellows community, within your major, within our school, and also within the wider HPU community. In your second year, we focus more on service. So doing service to, again, our school, our community, in your third year, we are calling it Science in Action. That's where you, if you have not already had an opportunity to do an undergraduate research opportunity, this is going to be your chance to do that. And then in year four, it's really all about very personalized attention to you in preparing you for the future and whatever um, career or educational opportunities you're undertaking next after you leave High Point. All right, so just to give you a little bit more about year one, which is what most of you are going to be embarking on very rapidly. Again, this is going to be a focus on you and your connection to HPU and to each other. So these are some pictures. So your first year will start out being inducted officially into the Natural Sciences Fellows if you're accepted into the program. So we have a lovely induction ceremony in our state-of-the-art planetarium, which is, honest to goodness, the coolest space on campus. And I challenge you to show me another undergraduate institution that has that cool of a classroom. So we do our induction ceremony in there. You can see here pictures from some of our induction ceremonies. You'll sign the ledger. Also in your first year, you get lots of opportunities um, for building community within the fellows. All right, so we have a fellows only professional development course. This course is 1 credit, it's pass fail. It is not meant to be stressful, but it's really a nice opportunity for us to meet once a week for an hour, and give everybody some time to ask questions to help you get acclimated. So we will bring in different offices on campus so that you can meet career and professional development, and you can meet some folks from student life if you haven't met them already. You can learn more about getting research opportunities through undergraduate research and creative works, those types of things. We'll also go over stuff like how to study for tests in college, because you guys are already professional students in high school. But once you get to college, it bumps it up a little bit of a notch. So A lot of students find that that's a transition that can be a little bit difficult. So we specifically give you study tips and skills on how to do that well, how to prepare for presentations and to write papers, those sorts of things. Um, we also cohort you into fellows only sections of introductory biology and chemistry courses. Those of you who are interested in physics, those classes are already so small, you'll already be cohorted with those in your major. But for biology and chemistry, those are large enrollment courses. And so we have fellows only sections, so you get lots of opportunities to form study groups with these fellows that you already know, who you're already in classes with. So it gives you a built-in support system. You'll also get a peer mentor. So you will have a sophomore, junior, or senior natural sciences fellow who will serve as your mentor. And they'll meet with you once or twice a month. They're not there to bug you and be your mom or dad or anything, but they're really there to provide an extra layer of support. And there are some times that you guys have questions or want to know things that the the faculty just don't know anything about. If you start asking about, you know, when do you need to worry about signing up for housing and what's the best dorm to live in? I have no idea. So that's really where your peer mentors will come in and be helpful in terms of thinking through those kinds of things. Um, and then at the end of your first year, we take a May trip to explore a science focused city. So I'm going to show you some pictures specifically from the last trip that we did to Washington, D.C., and we're going to take that again this year. So here are some of our students getting together, going to see the sites. They went to lots of different museums. They had lots of opportunities. And here you can see the whole group of sciences fellows and faculty at the Air and Space Museum. I think one of the coolest things about this trip is it's not just going to DC to go see museums. For example, this coming year, we are going to the NIH, and we're actually going to get a tour of a lab and get a talk. We have a science fellow this year whose mother works with a lot of different agencies in Washington, D.C., so we're going to try and get some behind the scenes tours there. We have faculty who have connections to the National Gardens and the National Arboretum, and so we're going to get some behind the scenes tours. So lots of different opportunities that are not just available if you go visit DC. And that's an all expenses paid trip. So the fellows don't have to pay anything. All of your travel expenses, your hotels, your meals, etc., are all covered for that trip. In your second year as a sophomore, so at this point, you are old hats at college. You've survived your first year. And so we focus a lot on service, giving of yourself to our community. So you'll serve as a mentor, but also giving to the wider HPU community and also the wider High Point, North Carolina community. So you will serve as a peer mentor to one or more first year fellows. This will also probably be your first opportunity to get involved in leadership. We have a leadership council who helps plan activities and sort of guide the direction of the fellows. This is a program that's designed to be for you guys. So we really value feedback and value student leadership and engagement in the natural sciences fellows. And then you'll be involved in some sort of an outreach activity. So that may take the form of being formally involved in either participating with the mobile lab, the Kane Conservatory Fellows. So the Kane Conservatory is our greenhouse on campus, and greenhouse really doesn't do it justice. If you haven't visited campus yet, and haven't been able to see the Kane or if you have visited and haven't seen the conservatory yet, you have to. It's phenomenal. And so we have fellows who are going to be serving kind of like docents at the conservatory who will learn more about the plants and help with the running of the conservatory, help visitors understand about all of the different plants, and may even be involved in setting up and curating different exhibits for particular plants. We have one fellow who's working on a pollinator exhibit right now, and mounting different pollinators that are responsible for helping with wild cultivation of these various plants and putting those next to the plants in the conservatory so you can learn more about the interplay of plants and pollinators. There's also Culp Planetarium Fellows. So if you have ever wanted to work behind the scenes and see how a planetarium works, this is for you. And then you can also run shows and develop your own shows. And so that's a really awesome opportunity for folks who are interested in being involved in the planetarium and interested in scientific communication. And then you may even want to be part of the science ambassadors. Those are our students who you may meet this weekend or on one of the other President's Weekends who are giving tours of the building and acting as ambassadors for the school. So you may be involved in that. If you're not involved in any of these formal service opportunities, we have lots of different opportunities throughout. So meal packing, ad hoc service opportunities to go present at the Children's Museum down the road, or to go participate in things at the Science Museum in Greensboro for Earth Day or for Mole Day for chemistry. So there's lots of different opportunities, and those will be sent out to you. And I think it's 2 service opportunities per semester that you have to participate in to stay in uh, in good standing. And then at the end of sophomore year, we also do a trip. So there is a May trip somewhere within North Carolina. So usually it's either to the mountains or to the beach to do some science focused outreach. So if we go to the mountains, it's usually something like helping the Forest Service clear roads or set up feeding stations for various wildlife. If we go towards the beach, then it's usually helping with ecology, or in some years past, we even did some outreach into the schools, which is a little bit more difficult due to COVID. But there's been lots of different opportunities to think about how you want to do that scientific outreach as a group and as a class with that trip. And here are some, whoop, those went fast. Sorry, those were some some pictures of the different service activities we have done. And then I'm going to show you, this was actually a video of some of our students. We did a spooky science outreach event at the library, which actually you can see in this image of us in front of our mobile lab, which is an actual lab on wheels in a bus. It's very cool. But we had some students who did elephant toothpaste demonstrations. So I'll let you guys see some of this. So those are some of the opportunities, and it really does feel less like a requirement and more like an excuse to go have fun and remind yourself what's most fun about science. Um, oop, during year 3, this is sort of our science in action. So this is the year that if you haven't already engaged in undergraduate research, this is the year that you will do it. Undergraduate research takes lots of different forms. So if you're like, the idea of working in a lab does not sound appealing to me, don't fear. There are students who have decided to get engaged in more teaching focused projects. So they have teamed up with faculty to help develop labs for an undergraduate science course, or help develop outreach activities for children at the Science Museum. So there's lots of different ways to do research and to think about research in the context of science. There's also plenty of opportunities to be doing research in labs. So we have opportunities for you to have funds to help support your project, which also is great because then the faculty are really interested in working with fellows because they know you guys are motivated, they know you're excited, and they know you come with some extra funds to help fund those projects. And we also have funding to help send you to conferences. So we have several students who have gone to a regional conference in Birmingham, Alabama in November and presented their work. And actually, three of our fellows received awards for their posters there for work that they did or that they started during their third year science project. Um, and then we actually have 22 students who are traveling to a national chemistry conference in March to San Diego, and the Science Fellows is helping to fund them traveling out there. So this gives you lots of opportunities to be able to present your research and to work with a faculty member and really learn what it means to actually be a scientist and do that sort of science in action. And here are some of our students in our high-tech labs. And then also we present at the on-campus um, research symposium in April. And so all of our fellows, our third year fellows present their work there. So it's a great opportunity for you to build your resume and say, I've presented a scientific poster somewhere, and to really support each other and learn about the cool things that everybody's working on campus. Again, if you haven't visited campus yet and seen some of the incredible state of the art labs, I cannot tell you enough how phenomenal our facilities are at High Point University. We have faculty who've come to visit and give talks from Duke and NC State and UNC, all kinds of places, and they come through and they're like, "Wow, this place is gorgeous. You have some amazing facilities. I cannot believe what kinds of things your students have available to them." Um, so we really are lucky, and our students are really lucky to have all of that at their fingertips. And then year four is, again, as I said, focused on you, developing you for what you want to do next. So if you are headed to medical school, um, we will work with you on interview coaching for medical school. We'll make sure that you're connected in with the pre-med advisor so that you can practice group interviews or individual interviews. We'll look over your resumes. We'll help you develop cover letters or personal statements. If you're not sure what you want to do, if you decide, hey, I'm going to take a year off, but I don't know what is the best thing that I should do with that year off, we can sit and talk about that and help you find what would be good for you in the short and in the long term. Um, and we have opportunities for you to engage in personal and professional development. The fourth year doesn't have a lot of requirements. It's really more about giving you opportunities that will help you gain all the skills that you can before you leave High Point University. And as I mentioned, our first class of fellows is graduating this year, so we don't currently have any alumni, but we will soon. Um, and we already have active plans to maintain really strong ties to our alumni. Um, Once you leave High Point, you don't really get to leave us. We are always here for you. If you have questions, if you need mentoring, if you need coaching, and even if you don't need anything, we just want to hear how you're doing and what you're up to. And we are hopeful that what we can do is build a really robust alumni network that can be of use to our current fellows. So if you're looking at going to PA school and you're going, I don't know how to get my clinical hours, we can put you in touch with some of our alums who are PAs and say, hey, they work right here, or they work near your hometown. Let's see if they would be willing to let you do some clinical hours with them or some shadowing hours with them. So we're gonna really want to tap into that alumni network of our former fellows, um, which will be of benefit to our current ones as well. So all work is no fun for anybody. So we work hard, but we play hard too. So here's just some photos of various different social activities we've done. So um, s'mores around the fire pit, painting pumpkins, trips to the North Carolina Zoo. We've gone to Carowinds, pick-up soccer games. We have students who are planning, I think next week, they're doing cookie decorating, um, lots of different fun study breaks. So things that are really small and informal. Also, we'll do bigger trips like the Carowinds. That's a bit more of a plan, or to the zoo. Um, So lots of opportunities and things going on for you to just hang out with each other, make friends, get to know people, not just in your cohort of fellows, but also across the whole fellows group. So other benefits, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the $3,000 scholarship, which is always helpful. So that's an annual scholarship. So as long as you remain a fellow in good standing, so you meet the GPA requirements and you meet all of the other requirements, so you're a fellow in good standing, then you are awarded the $3,000 scholarship each year. That's in addition to any other academic or presidential scholarships that you may be interested in or maybe vying for in these next few weeks. So just be aware that that's an added benefit as well. Um, I think I've mentioned a few times the personal coaching and mentorship. There are 4 of us who are co-directors, 2 from the biology department. I'm from chemistry and biochemistry, and then 1 from physics. So we've really made sure that you have faculty mentors who are in your major department. Um, but we also have a lot of diverse experiences, and so we're really there to help with coaching and we can send you to each of us to get different expertise based on what you need. And if we don't have that expertise or we don't know the answer to your question, then we're there. We're sort of a first stop shop for you to be able to figure out what you need and where you're going to get that on campus. And so we're there to help you with that all 4 years and beyond. And then behind the scenes access to scientific leaders and innovators. So one of the goals of the program is to really bring some of those leading thought experts to campus in the sciences. Um, Due to COVID, a lot of that has been virtual in the last couple of years, but now that we seem to be coming to the other side of things, we're really hopeful and excited that we can have folks on campus again. So we have Mohammed Noor, who's a fantastic cellular biologist and genetics researcher at Duke, who's coming, and he also does a really interesting talk on um, Star Trek as approachable science. So he's going to be coming in March to talk to our fellows and meet with them in person and have lunch and those kinds of things. So these are really some unprecedented opportunities to get to meet these people up close and personal, have lunch with them, have dinner with them, ask them questions, including things like, how did you get interested in science and how did you get started? And if I'm interested in this, what should I do next? Those kinds of real um, basic, what seem basic questions, but opportunities to really hear those perspectives is one of the biggest benefits I think of our program. Um, so that's pretty much gives you the good overview. A few important dates I want to make sure to share with you. January 29th and February 12th are the Presidential Scholars Weekends. So many of you, I'm sure, have been invited to those. I strongly encourage you to come. Um, if if you've been invited, it is really a great opportunity. If you haven't seen campus yet, it's a wonderful opportunity to see campus. If you have seen campus, then you want to come back and see it again. Um, Plus, you get an opportunity to try to get more scholarship dollars, which is always helpful. Um, and all of the fellows directors will be there both weekends. So there's going to be ample opportunities for you to meet us, to meet some of our fellow students, so that you can really get the student perspective. Because I know I can tell you how great the program is, but you probably want to talk to the students and see if I'm telling you the truth. I am. It's okay. But those are great opportunities. If you are on campus for those 2 weekends, we are going to do 2 planetarium shows, very short, but that are designed specifically to tell you about the Natural Sciences Fellows program. So those are going to be at 1:30 p.m. and 3 p.m. on Saturday. All right. So if you sign up for I believe it's the 2 o'clock or the 2:45. Sorry, the 2 o'clock planetarium show, you can either come before or after or stay after a little bit to see those planetarium shows. We'll also have fellows stationed on the third floor of Wannock Natural Sciences. So if you're waiting on your interview or you've just finished your interview and you have a little bit of time, please feel free to stop by there and go chat with the students or chat with one of our fellows directors. So priority deadline for application decisions is February 1. Okay, so I encourage you to go ahead and get those applications in. March 1 is the regular application deadline. We are limited in the number of fellows that we can accept each year. So for the best chances, I strongly encourage you to apply early because that's going to increase your chances dramatically. And now I'd like to open the floor to any of you who have any questions. You are welcome to hop in and share them either through audio or type it into the chat, and I'm happy to answer those. And I'm going to put up our information about tours with the Student Science Ambassadors, so everybody can write that down if you're coming to visit this weekend. So if anyone has any questions. Doesn't look like anyone has any right now. If you can't unmute yourself, see if you can raise your hand, and then I can, I think, unmute you if that's part of it. All right, well, if there aren't any questions, then that is our full presentation. I really hope that we get many applications from you. And hopefully I will get to meet you during one of these Presidential Scholars Weekends that's coming up. If you have any questions, I'm going to put our Natural Sciences Fellows email here. So it's NatSci Fellows, NatSciFellows @highpoint.edu. You can also go to our website, and that has all of the contact information. So if you just Google High Point University Natural Sciences Fellows, that should get you there. And so it also points you towards your Panther page where you can access the application and has all of these dates on it as well. So there should be all of this information. And then if you missed anything and want to rewatch the webinar, it's recorded and will be posted to the website as well for you to learn more about the program. I'll stay on for a few more minutes if anyone has any questions, but otherwise, thank you all for joining. Really appreciate it. And I hope to read your applications and meet you all very soon. Thanks, guys.